Catch me how to roast these hoes with the s'mores. We're heading coast to coast, never searching for the shore. We're going to the city where we get all our support. We're the next best thing while y'all are coming up short. All the bands, they want us, ladies really love us. Haters always run up, man, they try to fucking shove us. But when we tell them glove up, we turn fighters into runners. Come around here, get done up, you know we on the come up. Bit low, little high pitch, and you ain't never heard nothing like us. But everywhere we go, man, everybody knows now. You ain't never heard nothing like this. A little bit low, little high pitch, and you ain't never heard nothing like us. But everywhere we go, man, everybody knows it's us.
It's like I'm looking for a rival. Been thumbing through my lyrics like they were verses in the Bible. Rehearsing the verse like every single line was vital. You do the shit for fun while I do it for survival. I'm coming out hot like the bullet from a rifle. I'm headed to the top, boy, I think I'll take the title. I'm entitled to this throne and I've been waiting quite a while. Been talking behind my back, but your girl, she likes my style. I'll add her to the list, then I'll throw her on the pile. Come in with a poker face and leave you with a smile. You came to face the facts, but you're also in denial. Throw it on the vinyl, like you can miss my raps. Haven't heard that one in a while, bitch.
And you ain't never heard nothing like this. A little bit low, little high pitch. And you ain't never heard nothing like this. But everywhere we go, man, everybody knows now. You ain't never heard nothing like this. A little bit low, little high pitch. And you ain't never heard nothing like this. But everywhere we go, man, everybody knows it's us. Everybody knows it's us. Everybody knows it's us. Yeah. Every morning seems just the same old routine. Blowing trees, writing these bars, line after line, mining for a diamond, but a dime is what I find. Hiding from the truth, I see feeling blue, but I gotta face the facts, girl, you know that it's true. And maybe what I'm supposed to do is not to get so close to you. But these days the only things that seem great are fading away. And the only time I feel home is when I'm alone or far away. But the road calls as the wind blows. 10 missed calls on my flip phone, so it stays closed. Staring out my window while my mind slowly goes off into my headphones. Hoping that the dough will be worth it for the show, but who knows?
Yeah, let's go and roll it up. Blow it all away. No sense in growing up. We laugh like kids all day. And there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change. No, we're never gonna change.
And day after day, it's just the same old thing. Working class life, and yes, it surely will bring a food to the table and a roof when it rains. But for the most part, you're just doing the same thing. A part of a machine with the ball and a chain. You try to be happy, yet all you feel is pain. It's a shame to use your brain and know that someone never changed. But if insanity's the game, then you can take my hand and play. Life has a rhythm that I ride to. And you can come along if you would like to. And I can show you what it's like to walk in my shoes, to learn how to love just like I do. Look me in the eye and you will find truth. I'm testifying to the line in my mic booth. And you're hating on me cause I ain't like you. I ain't like you.
Yeah, no sense in growing up. We laugh like age. Yo, my life is like a movie that nobody's producing. I write the music, but nobody is moving. Cause don't nobody care, and everyone's confused. And the characters change and never reaching a conclusion. And I don't know if I'll make it to the end. Cause all I know is after we begin, the wind shifts us in many different directions. Like the pen lifts up off the paper disconnected from anything we can feel, hear, and see. And the words that I write mean something more than just to me. It's amazing that we've all grown accustomed to change. change, cause we can rearrange a pattern that's always been ingrained. They want us to grow up and stop acting how we want. But yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in growing up, we laugh like kids all day. And there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change. No, we're never gonna change.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid...
Hello there. We are live. And it's good to see everybody. Hello, Casey. Hello, Jake. Hello, Ross. Hello, Branco. You all are here. You there, Pookie?
Oh, yeah.
Minx has decided to have wars with the internet and her computer, and so therefore I am filling in this week and next week, and her debut will be on the 19th of this month. So you still got to put up with me for a little longer. Excuse me. And I do correct my little tag. I should have put in there. Everybody, how you doing today, Pooks?
No, I'm doing fantastic. I mean, just been slow and sluggish, but I mean, it's better than, having your heart explodes.
This is true. This is true. Medication can do that to you, and I know that's kind of what's going on. You're having your bouts with those medicines.
Yep.
So, word of advice. When you go in to see your doctor and they want to draw blood, make sure if you decided to start a diet call this afternoon after seeing my doctor this morning, that was not a fun thing. Seems you've got a liver problem and kidney problems. And I'm like, oh, did you forget I said I was on a diet? Well, yeah, I started out my day with taking a protein shake that tends to mess with your liver and kidneys. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, please go look it up. About it just because, it is what it is. I have no reason to be upset about it. The Union, the second hour. And I will be piping it in.
Did you see that drinking game?
I didn't. Tell me about it. I saw people laughing about it.
It's like you got two teams, like Team Red, Team Blue, and every time the president says a certain word, you got to drink. And I was like, man, I don't want to die, so I ain't going to play that.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm not really into politics. I don't believe in... You guys don't need my political views, okay? But I think both sides need to be grabbed by the ears and pulled together and say, okay, you two, now behave. You're both here. You're both human. You both need to behave now. I mean, come on, people. They're acting like, they're just such children. And it's like, oh, no, we can't compromise. We can't compromise. And it's like, that's why we voted you into offices, because you're supposed to be the adults. And you're supposed to. Go ahead.
No, it's been like that for a while.
Yeah, it has. And I don't agree with it. Truthfully, I think term limits should be in place. And I think, 2 terms, boom, you're gone. can't go in again. Okay, because after 2 terms, you've learned to play too many games, and that's not pretty. Realize who they're here for, and they need to remember that they're here for us, not for themselves. That's just my opinion
Oh
on
yeah.
this, and I'm allowed to
Well,
have
a
it on
majority
here.
of them forgot that they're representatives.
Miss Hale? Okay. Miss Hale, being able to monitor mixer and everything. Okay. That's the reason. Also, things are a little State of the Union address. I think everybody needs to pertain on. How do you feel about that, Pooks?
Well, I agree with you, I guess.
Not sure you want to commit to it?
No, I mean, you know me, man. I'm like borderline like a anarchist kind of. So I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, and I understand that. So, everybody, if I freeze up and I see I'm watching stuff just add up, um, and hey, Jake, I'm glad you're here too. um, things are gonna, like I said, the only reason I did it this way is because I had to. And maybe it was a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have changed things around. If it comes down to it, maybe during break I'll rearrange it. But for now, that's the way it is. So anyway, so you've had a blah week, huh?
So far, yeah. I mean, I had my VA, like my blood pressure test come back. Like I went in for my blood pressure and it's just all whacked out. So they put me on some heavy duty meds, and it makes me just bleh.
And that's the thing is those meds can do that. I understand that. It can be very rough. Blood pressure medicine sucks. Now, have they given you any other solution to help get your blood pressure under control so you don't have to be on the meds?
No.
Of course not. Well, normally blood pressure, when you're on meds, it's because you're old or you're out of shape or you're stressed. Which categories do you fit in?
Probably like 2 of them, I guess. I don't know.
Well, and we have to be realistic with ourselves when we are thinking about stuff like this. So, what would help Pookie? Probably if he were to take up a regular exercise regime and he learned to meditate a little bit. Then his stress levels would go down, and then if he were to actually go after some other things that he and I've talked about, it probably would all fall in place. But that's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. So, this week for me was an up and down week. I had last week told everybody, hey, that was my last, and and it's a mixed bag for me because I was getting ready to actually start streaming on Twitch and on my page to do gaming and to talk alternatives. And then lo and behold, what happens? So, and I don't mind. Pukey and I have a good time when we're on the show.
Yep.
So I don't mind. I'm good. Oh, so what particularly is on Mr. Pookie's mind?
Oh, right now I don't know. Not a whole lot, man.
For you, for what's been going on with you, that can be a good thing. You need the rest. Your body needs to relax after having problems with blood pressure. With me, I went and saw my doctor today. They said I was doing great, and then I got home and they give me that phone. And well, guys, that meant I was taking protein shakes. So, okay, it's on me. Just relax. In a week, I'll get off my protein shakes. Next week, I'll come in and redo the blood test, and I'll bet you it'll be spot on. Life is so much fun. But no, I'm going to be streaming once Minx comes back on Twitch and on my page. And have you ever heard of the game Wipeout?
No, I haven't.
It's a hovercraft race car game.
It's interesting.
Yes. You can no longer find Wipeout, but you find Redout, and it takes F-Zero, Wipeout, and a couple others and puts them all together.
I know F-Zero. That was an old Nintendo game, I think.
Exactly. Okay. And that's what I'm going to be doing. From there, I'll get in there, have my fun, plug along, right?
Yep.
And who knows? Maybe I'll get Pookie to come in and talk during some of my my gaming.
That sounds like fun.
So everybody, second hour is going to be State of the Union, and I will actually be available to give my interpretation during that time, because then we can talk about anything and everything. I'm glad to see everybody's in the rooms. Ross is saying, come over to Mixer Chat. We have beer, hookers, and bacon. You know, I'm watching with a wiener in hey, talk it up. How is everybody doing? Hey, how's everybody's temperatures? I am personally jealous of Pookie, because his temperature, tell him your temps. Come on. It was 19 degrees where I'm at. Okay. Please. Yeah, can't blame him, but still. At some point,
I got sick of that cold up north, man. I can't do it no more, man.
yeah, you moved. I know. Rub it in my nose, rub it in our nose. Yeah, I see how it is. But it's all good. Anyway, so remember, it is winter. Remember, it is cold. And remember, depression. You need to remember that vitamin D, yes, it is in milk, but it's not in high enough doses that way. Okay? So just so you remember. And just so you are aware. Go up. Yeah, it's all over the place. I don't know. What do you think I should do? You think I should try a quick restart just to
No, just roll through it.
What?
I haven't heard anyone complain. I haven't heard anyone complain.
Up than normal, just because I want to bring in the president, and that different setup. I moved one thing over to another computer, and that can cause issues with my internet. And that's what you're seeing right now. Normally, you guys know I have a really good show. If it becomes too much for y'all, let me know. I can do a 1 minute down and back up, and I'd have it all corrected, just to let you know, okay? Anyway, so that's my normal safety brief for y'all. Remember, vitamin D. It's important. Winter is fading. Yeah, see, and Bailey, you're right. You take as much as and it works great for her. Okay? So, keeping that in mind, I take 5,000 units twice a day. And you can see I do pretty good. Even though, yeah, you're taking vitamin D orally, sometimes it's good to have that. Can cause cancer, my friends. So just be careful about that, okay? Your depression is real. Keep it in mind, please. After that, why don't we talk? Let's go to a story for fun. How about that?
That's fun.
Let's see. What do I feel like doing? Oh, let's go to this. Robots serve up food and fun in a Budapest cafe. And this is in Budapest. The robots at the Enjoy Budapest Cafe can do it all. They can serve up food and drink, tell jokes, dance with kids, or just hang out for a chat with customers. The cafe, opened by IT company and don't ask me to sound that one out, in the Hungarian capital, is staffed by a whole team of robots that aim to help familiarize the public with the technological revolution in automation and artificial intelligence. The robot waiters follow fixed paths to deliver food and drink orders to customers who are asked to keep out of the robot's ways. Others prefer a receptionist robot that can hold a conversation and also dance with customers. Developed by Fame, owner Tibor Sidmidnia says. From online reviews, customers appear to be charmed by her waiter colleagues. Despite fears that increasing automation and artificial intelligence will take away employment for humans, aren't putting anyone out of a job yet. We actually employ twice as many people as before, because to operate 16 to 20 robots from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., we need to have IT specialists in the background, says the owners. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, you want Skynet? That's how you get Skynet.
I love it. Nice.
Telling you, AI freaks me the hell out, huh?
You know, and you know, the whole thing that goes on in some of the states where minimum wage has been jacked up, well, this is the answer that they're going to find. More and more automation. What are the chances that someone's going to sue them? And it's going through its what does it keep to keep the doggone things running? And what does it keep to keep them on track and everything else? Give them a year, and I'd almost bet we're going to start seeing them here.
I don't know if you read a while back. They did a
No, I did
yes. I
not
think
know
there's like
that.
one guy in the back just making sure the systems were running and everything was fed properly, I guess. And that was it. They were able to run an entire McDonald's with just one individual.
Wow. That would be something to watch. And maybe not. I mean, that, but you know, it's a back and forth, if you ask me.
Automation is the future. I will say that. A lot of people I'm scared of it, but it's inevitable. It's going to happen. You're not going to be able to stop it.
And I agree. And people sit there and say, well, people need to start going to college. No, you need the trades, because there's some things that those automated robots cannot do. And I'm sorry, try to get a robot to figure out. All I see is problems with something like that. So that's just my opinion on the matter. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting story, though, because especially with you on air, because I know how you feel about the whole the AIs will rise. Skynet's coming. Just like taxes theft.
Oh yeah, taxation is theft. Yes, definitely.
You always know where Pookie stands, no doubt. So, and I noticed Bailey's talking about she says get real about the winter aphasia. I think you guys need to be reminded about the stuff, and I'm not going to harp on it, but remember, a little vitamin D doesn't cost much. Those red lamps, if you got a gym membership or if you've got a tanning booth around, ask about red lights, no UV. You'd be surprised how many places out there have them. So, anyway, let's go on to another story for fun because I actually enjoy. I found some fun stories. I really did. TSA officers discover a real golden grenade checked bag at Newark Liberty International Airport.
Like gold?
As in dipped in gold.
Oh.
File this under bad idea. TSA officers detected a golden grenade in a checked bag at Newark Liberty International Airport Wednesday morning. According to TSA, upon inspection, it was determined the golden device was an actual grenade that was made inert. According to the TSA, an X-ray monitor. What to know? TSA officers detected a golden grenade in a check bag at Newark International Airport. According to TSA, upon inspection, it was a man who was carrying it was flying to military training and was allowed to go on without the device. I don't know.
So it's just a gold paperweight at that point.
Yeah, it's a gold paperweight, but still, to think that someone would think that that's okay with them. People, use your brain. I mean, gold made inert or not, it's just wrong. Carrying a bullet. Maybe something you just shouldn't figure, right? Hey, everybody. Everybody's so quiet in the room. Come on, people. Man.
Jake Mathewson asked me, when am I going to see pictures of you?
Oh, meaning me?
If you want to see pictures of me, you go to my page. There's plenty of them on my page.
Yeah. Pookie, a lot of people do wonder because those of us who've actually seen you know about the beard. and know you got that hillbilly style beard going on. And that even on your page, new ones to post.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Pookie likes to hide himself.
My real book, I try to hide myself as much as possible. But I mean, if you want to go to my page, my Pookie page, let's see, I'll post a picture of myself on there.
And that's the difference, is people don't know.
You got to be in a special group.
Yep.
A special club.
So if you want to see Pookie, tell you what, no excuse. What's the matter, Pookie? Did I catch you on that one?
Oh, no. I mean, I'd do it. I mean, if you go back, was on the old podcast, I believe it was a Saturday. There's a 10-minute, 15-minute intro of Pickle Rick. I don't know if you've seen that or remember that, but it's me and Jay sitting there, in person, talking to each other.
Yeah.
About Hello Bitch Lasagna.
Okay.
So,
I remember glancing that one. So yeah, Jake, you know what? Minx will be back on the 19th. She has her. You stuck with me for a couple more weeks, but just a couple more weeks, okay? Man, what? I'm no good anymore. People. Let's go to a story. Beer spills causes cans of beer into the road.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah, right? Driver Sorporn Prinjas when he lost control of the truck while turning a corner and the vehicle overturned. I went around the corner and could not keep control of the truck. I don't know how it happened. I think the road was slippery because it was dark, the driver said. The crash caused the truck's load of Leo beer, okay, to spill into the road, leading to chaos as hundreds of people rushed to take the cans from the roadway. Of course, they're just there to help clean it off. Police said the people who took the cans could face theft charges if they are identified by investigators. Hey, Josh, good to see you, by the way. Jeez.
Drink it.
Exactly. And I mean, come on. It spilled right there. They've got to clean it up. Oh, man. You can't make this stuff up. And I mean, come on. There's been crashes in the US. Same thing happened. So you can't expect people not to jump in and go, ooh, free beer. Cool, dude. I love it. So it's all good, man. I think about, they made sure to talk about how, they could press charges and there'll be theft and there'll be an investigation. It's like, really? And unless someone sat there and videotaped and got a really good picture, because that picture I showed was not the greatest, you're not going to identify one of those people.
I don't know who's just standing around videotaping it. I'd have been up in the crowd grabbing beer at that point.
Exactly. And I don't know about you, but have you ever heard of Leo beer?
No, I haven't.
I love it. Well, yeah, it must be one of those India things, but that's okay. We have our American beer too. So, but 80,000 cans, man, that's a lot of beer. Huh.
That's like a year worth supply for me, probably.
Yeah. And see, I can't even drink, so yeah.
I love my beer, man. You know that.
Oh yeah, I used to love drinking beer. I still would like to. I just can't. With the medications I'm on, excuse me, alcohol isn't the best thing to do. So I have to. Well, I'd rather not have to deal with the side effects that alcohol causes with my medication. With Pookie, and it's all good. It's I've seen a lot of people have problems with that.
No, you gotta stay away from
An 82-year-old Michigan grandma is enjoying her viral fame after photos were posted online showing her happily using a snowblower after a major snowstorm. Of Muskegon said she gladly donned her winter coat and ventured outside amid frigid temperatures when several inches of snow fell on her neighborhood. I like being outside and I like the snow, Downing told the local radio station. I just don't need any help. I got this big machine. It works great. Downing described herself as a tough old broad who doesn't need her grandkids to clear the snow for her. My grandson has plowed it once, but I'm fine. I like being out there, she said. The grandmother said the sound of the snowblower reminds her of her favorite summertime activity. I think the engine sounds like my Harley, maybe. That's one frisky old lady. I love it. Oh, the lady has a Harley. What do you think of that, Pooks?
No, that's crazy. Like you hear about these old people out doing stuff like that. I think I'm in Pennsylvania about 2 weeks.
Damn.
I was like, you're 101, you're out there hunting, you know, like just
exercise. I actually go to the gym. The biggest problem that people have is just sitting and sitting and sitting. You tend to end up gaming or you binge watch stuff on Netflix. You do all this stuff, right? But you don't do anything for your body. Now, your body to get the oxygen it needs, to get the vitamin D into the body as it needs, you need to move. And if you and
I catch myself in this all the time. That's why, you know what, I got my roommates put down a golf tee, you know, like with a hole and everything. And
Yeah.
he worked and just hit it around the yard so I can get up, move around and shit.
Yeah, and that's just it. And yes, I realize I forgot to say that Minx isn't. That's on me, and I apologize. But no, one of the things that I really endorse is people need to remember that when technology has given us so much, and sometimes it's given us too much. It's given us ways to get out of being active. It's given us ways to get out of being around people. And when you start doing those type of things where you're just staying at home, you got a problem. It's going to catch up. So,
well, I mean, honestly, I think people suck these days anyways, but this is my personal opinion on it.
well, and I know, but at the same time, even if you think people suck, you still need to get out and do something. And like your buddy did, he set you up a little putting green. Okay. You need to do things. You need to do something that will help you feel healthy, that will help you feel energized, and feel like your grandma rides a stretch chopper. My dad is no longer, but my mother is still very active, and she's in her 80s. She still does things, and it keeps her happy, and it keeps her healthy.
That's how my mom's gonna be. That woman can't sit still for 2 minutes. She has to work 24/7.
And that's just it. So don't forget, get out and do something. Enjoy something. Like I said, I go to the gym. Okay, 3 times a week, I go to the gym. I do something that keeps my body moving, that puts oxygen into my muscles, that it shows. I've got a great pulse rate. I've got a great blood pressure. It all, in the words of Spanky, Game of Thrones is on. Game of Thrones is great. But you still need to do something for you. And Spanky, I know you can jump in your minivan and
Oh
go
Lord.
and go do something. Do something that helps you feel good, even if it's just going for a walk. I think she's actually doing that. But I encourage everybody to do something that will help you circulate. What reason do you think that I put that music on and beforehand I'm swinging my hands up in the air and everything? I'm getting myself motivated and moving.
Get that blood pumping.
Exactly. You know, that's the type of thing that we need to remember as during the winter is to keep the blood pumping. And I mean, come on. Everybody says, I'm happy. And I've gotten the nickname Mr. Rogers on occasion. And I'm fine with that. But what do you think helps me get ready for the show? I sit there and I've got everything laid out. I get everything going, and Pookie will get on and we'll start talking. And then as soon as I start that music, I start moving because I want to be positive for you. You guys need to be positive for you. So remember these things. Do what gives you that. Remember to be there for yourselves. And I encourage it. I really do. Now, let's go ahead and let's see. Oh, this is funny. Give me half a second. I have a story that's kind of funny. Swiss zoo shocked by an orangutan paternity test results. A zoo in Switzerland said an orangutan paternity test had some surprising results when officials discovered the mother and the father are in different enclosures.
Wait a minute, but what?
Uh-huh.
Sneaky little bastard.
Uh-huh. The Basel Zoo said officials carried out a DNA test on 5-month-old orangutan Padma as part of an endangered species breeding program, and they were surprised to discover the only male in her enclosure, Booty 14, was not her father. The test found Padma's mother, Maja, had instead gotten pregnant from Vendel, an 18-year-old, a male orangutan in an adjacent enclosure.
What did old dude say in Jurassic Park? He says life will find a way.
Holes in the fence separating their enclosed facilities 3 male orangutans to have cheek pads. I love it. Nature finds a way. Life finds.
I wonder what made them pull a paternity test like that. Like they know only one male's in the enclosure. So you figure they
an endangered species. They have to do that.
I saw the orangutans at the Tampa Zoo. I was with my roommates, and they had their little 2-year-old son, and they like kind of set him down by the window, you know, like the viewing window or whatever it was, and a big male orangutan kind of like snuck up on him. He was just curious about like little 2-year-old kids sitting there.
Jeez.
Of course,
That's
scared the crap out of a little kid. But
yeah. If the president starts on time, I don't want it to be during break.
He always goes about 5 minutes late. That's his current trend right now.
Yeah, so I'm going to be a little careful. So,
cupcakes.
A pyramid-shaped collection of pastries assembled at a mall in India broke a Guinness World Record for the tallest tower of cupcakes. Pritheen Kitchen Appliances and Food Consulate Chennai teamed up to bake 18,818 cupcakes and assemble them into a tower measuring 41 feet, 8 inches tall at the Forum Vijay Mall in Chennai. The cupcakes, which were all made on site, took about 30 hours to cook and arrange on the pyramid structure. A Guinness adjudicator was present during the attempt, and a surveyor was brought in to use laser triangulation to verify the height of the structure. The cup distributed to various charities after the record was certified.
Yeah, charity.
Wow. I mean, that's like a sweet tooth lover's dream. and you do have to have a liking for it, but wow. I mean,
I wonder how many pounds of sugar went in that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to know how much of I'd like to know the ingredients, how much they had to use to do this. Would have been interesting, right? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut to break a little early so that when the State of the Union starts, I'll be able to pull it up immediately. So you ready to go to break, Pooks?
Yeah, let's do it. Like Al said, man, stick around. We're going to be playing it, and so you can sit around here and watch.
So stick Stick on there and watch the State of Union in the second hour with Al Overhead. Shots.
Well, I've been up, well, I've been down this whole damn town. Well, I've done good, well, I've done bad. Done some things that I shouldn't have. Well, I found a girl, so go, make your decision. Now should I stay or should I go? And do you think that they will even listen? It's been so long since I've been home. Well, I've been in, well, I've been out. Done some things that I don't talk about. Well, I've been dark, brought to the light. Been to some parts that I do not like. Well, I found a friend close to me. Brought to the light, now I can see I've been let down. Go, make your decision. Yeah, should I stay or should I go? And do you think that they catch me hopping out the car with some honeys on my arm? We're so out of space that we're shooting for the stars. We got a little taste and we want a little more, so I'm whittling this shit to roast these hoes with the s'mores. We're heading coast to coast, never searching for the shore. We're going to the city where we get all our support.
Okay, the State of the Union has started.
Oh,
We have the seating of the Supreme Court. There's Sotomayor, Pence, and Pelosi. Bring down the noise a little bit from the background. There we go. And here comes our First Lady. Looking wonderful as ever. ERA, yes. Okay. There's a little cutie beside her. All right, come on, people. Called us to order. Now let's get the ball rolling.
All this dog and pony shit.
Exactly. Here we go.
Madam Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
This is the President's Cabinet.
It's sad not seeing Mad Dog in the group.
Yeah, it kind of is. It would have been, I mean, I like it. There's Pompeo.
Ben Carson.
He's really got his stuff together. I don't know if they invited Mattis, but I suspect the way those two kind of had their own little tiff, that probably isn't going to happen. He wouldn't have taken the invitation.
Of politics right now.
Everybody has to be seen.
I mean, that's the most people you'll see on the floor the entire year at that point. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding, right? Those people just don't show up.
I wonder what the combined salary of all these people are.
Oh, jeez. You think about every senator and congressman make somewhere over $150,000 a year. That's a lot of money sitting down.
I just wish I could hear what these people are saying right now.
Yeah, wouldn't you love to be a fly on the wall right now? One of them high-powered listening devices. Y'all saying to each other. We got record on, people.
I hope she took her Alzheimer's medicine today.
I love it. Yeah, really. So while everybody...
It's like an old World War II vet sitting behind the First Lady.
Oh, my God, you're right. Wow. It's actually pretty cool.
I just need a
Here we go.
WWE theme song playing.
Here we go. Here we go.
The President of the United States.
Hoorah.
It really looks like a UFC fight about to commence.
Doesn't it though? All right, everybody. The only thing's missing is a robe and someone behind him squeezing his shoulders, right? Oh, wow. I didn't even think
Guarantee
of that.
tomorrow someone's gonna meme this with like John Cena's theme or like Steve Austin's theme. And walking.
Yeah. And Ross says, and in this corner, Nancy Pelosi.
There's two older gentlemen standing in front of the president, look like they've stacked bodies for a while.
Uh-huh. They look like they're ready to plow someone over, too.
I would just hate to be in D.C. tonight.
Yeah, think of all the traffic just from these guys alone. Wow.
Trump walked up to Kavanaugh and was like, we'll have a beer afterwards.
Yeah, really. Hey, dude, want a beer?
This is insane.
Mm-hmm. And I guess the Senate's coming in to sit down.
Someone tell the president his tie is crooked.
Ivanka forgot to check it. Yeah, you're right. Maybe he did that just to annoy someone, so they'll watch.
That's what his party said. It's like, look at that dude's crooked tie. It's like that's gonna be all over the news tomorrow. Watch.
No kidding, right? But it's interesting that he wore red. You see Pence wearing blue, a blue tie.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting dynamic.
And Taylor, like how much all them suits cost.
Yeah, right. Man, because you know what? A good suit like that, between $5,000 and $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, people.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, Mr. Vice President.
The Democrats are actually standing this time. Holy shit!
Congress, United States.
Oh wow! I think I saw corporate
Limited potential. As we begin a new Congress, I stand here ready to work with you to achieve historic breakthroughs for all Americans. Millions of our fellow citizens are watching us now gathered in this great chamber, hoping that we will govern not as two parties, but as one nation.
I like how the Supreme Court just sits there, just like, yep.
Yeah. Notice Ginsburg isn't.
Oh.
She just showed up to something this week to prove, some big affair that was thrown.
The agenda I will lay out this evening is not a Republican agenda or a Democrat agenda. It's the agenda of the American people. Many of us have campaigned on the same core promises to defend American jobs and demand fair trade for American workers, to rebuild and revitalize our nation's infrastructure, to reduce the price of health care and prescription drugs, to create an immigration system that is safe first. There is a new opportunity in American politics if only we have the courage together to seize it. Victory is not winning for our party. Victory is winning for our country.
Amen. Hoorah. Then he gets some standing.
This year, America will recognize two important anniversaries that show us the majesty of America's mission and the power of American pride. In June, we marked 75 years since the start of what General Dwight D. Eisenhower called the Great Crusade, the Allied liberation of Europe in World War II.
Very good.
On D-Day, June 6, 1944, 15,000 young American men jumped from the sky and 60,000 more stormed in
Oh,
from
there's
the
ice
sea
sitting up in there.
to save our three of those incredible heroes. Private First Class
Help the old man
Joseph
stand, for
Riley,
fuck's sake. Shit.
Staff Sergeant Irving Locker, and Sergeant Herman Zaitchik. Hey.
There you go. That explains them.
Heroes right there.
Yeah. And those women in white are there to honor the legacy of women's suffrage in the United States. I've been informed.
Okay.
Gentlemen, we salute you. In 2019, we also celebrate 50 years since brave young pilots flew 250,000 miles through space to plant the American flag on the face of the moon.
Wow.
Half a century later, we are joined by one of the Apollo 11 astronauts who planted that flag, Buzz Aldrin.
Oh, God. Wow. I didn't even think that's cool. Good to see you, Buzz.
Thank you, Buzz.
Space Force.
This year, American astronauts will go back to space on American rockets.
Whoa. You catch that, Pooks?
Mm-hmm.
In the 20th century, America saved freedom, transformed science, redefined the middle class, and when you get down to it, there's nothing. Now we must step boldly and bravely into the next chapter of this great American adventure. And we must create a new standard of living for the 21st century. An amazing quality of life for all of our citizens is within reach. We can make our community safer, our families stronger, our culture richer, our faith deeper, and our middle class bigger and more
I always like to pay attention to who actually stands up for things
before.
during these.
Yeah.
But we must reject the politics of revenge.
Oh, shit. There's
Resistance
Acosta.
and retribution, and embrace the boundless potential of cooperation.
Mm-hmm.
She almost lunged at him.
Together, we can break decades of political stalemate. We can bridge old divisions, heal old wounds, build new coalitions, forge new solutions, and unlock the extraordinary promise of America's future. The decision is ours to make. We must choose between greatness or gridlock, results or resistance, vision or vengeance, incredible progress or pointless destruction. Tonight,
Look
I
at her
ask
face.
you to choose greatness.
She's not paying attention. She's making all sorts of nasty faces at me. Yeah, the Democrats aren't happy.
Over the last 2 years, my administration has moved with urgency and historic speed to confront problems neglected by leaders of both parties over many decades. In just over 2 years since the election, we have launched an unprecedented economic boom, a boom that has rarely been seen before. There's been nothing like it. We have created 5.3 million new jobs and importantly added 600,000 new manufacturing jobs, something which almost everyone said was impossible to do. But the fact is, we are just getting started.
Hoorah. Good to see you, Captain Wayne. I still watch the rooms.
Wages are rising at the fastest pace in decades and growing for blue-collar workers who I think Americans have been lifted off food stamps.
Still has his hillbilly. Ted still has his hillbilly beard.
Oh, he looks good with a beard.
Yeah.
The U.S. economy is
I might
growing
beg to
almost
differ
twice
on
as
that
fast
last
today
statement.
as when I took office.
Yeah, Miss Hale, you're right.
And we are considered
she is
far
being
and away
rude.
the hottest economy anywhere in the world. Not even close.
Oh, Ted Cruz, I got you.
Unemployment has reached
Yeah,
the
Ted Cruz
lowest
got that
rate in
manly
over
beard going
half
now.
a century.
Interesting. I don't mean to cut it.
Have all reached their lowest levels ever recorded.
Lucy really needs to watch herself through these things. See what she does.
Unemployment for Americans with disabilities has also reached an all-time low.
Like only half of the U.S. population is working right now.
More people are working now than at any time in the history of our country. 157 million people at work.
You know, Pence, he's just sitting back there with the
We
nicest
passed
smile.
a massive tax cut for working families and doubled the child tax credit.
Bernie Sanders don't like that.
No.
We virtually ended the estate tax or death tax on small businesses, for ranches, and also for family farms.
Raw.
Yeah, Pelosi is.
We eliminated the very unpopular Obamacare individual mandate penalty.
those
and to
women.
give critically ill patients access to try.
Amen.
Their administration during its entire tenure.
I believe in 0% corporate tax.
Companies are coming back to our country in large numbers, thanks to our historic reductions in taxes and regulations.
This is awesome.
Yep.
And we have unleashed a revolution in American energy. The United States is now the #1 producer of oil and
Environmentalists are
natural
going to freak
gas
about that, but whatever.
anywhere in the world.
Awesome. So can we bring the troops home?
Sure, we're going to hear about that.
And now, for the first time in 65 years, we are a net exporter of energy. After 24 months of rapid progress, our economy is the envy of the world. Our military is the most powerful on earth by far. And America
Them women look like they're trying to decide on
members
what
of
to eat.
Congress,
I know.
the state of our union is strong.
Hoorah. I love it.
That sounds so good. Our country is vibrant, and our economy
They're mad
is
because
thriving
Trump had them go
like
through,
never
had
before.
the maintenance go through the
On
bathrooms
Friday,
and
it
make
was
sure the toilet
announced
seats were up.
that we added another 304,000 jobs. Thing that can stop it are foolish wars, politics, or ridiculous partisan.
They're wearing white suits.
It just doesn't work that way. We must be united at home to defeat our adversaries. Of cooperation can start with finally confirming the more than 300
What
highly
that paper she
qualified
keeps holding up
nominees
is.
That's
who
a
are
speech.
still stuck in the
He
Senate.
handed it to her.
In
Oh,
some
he gave
cases,
her the
years
speech.
Yep.
and years waiting. Not right.
At the very beginning, you notice he handed it to her.
It is unfair to the nominees, and very
Wait on them VA
came
reform.
together to pass unprecedented legislation to confront the opioid crisis, a sweeping new farm bill, historic VA
Cool.
reforms, and after 4 decades of rejection, we passed VA, our wonderful veterans.
You better stand up for that woman. Wearing white stood up.
And just weeks ago, last year, I heard through friends the story of Alice Johnson. I was deeply moved. In 1997, Alice was sentenced to life in 2 years. She had a big impact in criminal sentencing and the need to remedy this total injustice. She served almost that 22 years. In June, I commuted Alice's sentence. When I saw Alice's beautiful family greet her
Oh,
at
totally
the
Hitler though.
prison gates, hugging and kissing and crying and laughing, I knew I did something right.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
That was rude. A bunch of them getting together during the clapping. Huh.
Alice, thank you for reminding us that we always have the power to shape our own destiny. Thank you very much, Alice. Thank you very much. Inspired by stories like Alice's, my administration worked closely with members of both parties to sign the First Step Act into law. Big deal. It's a big deal. Laws that have wrongly and disproportionately harmed the African Americans to re-enter society as productive, law-abiding citizens. Now, states across the country are following our lead. America is a nation that believes in redemption. We are also joined tonight by Matthew Charles from Tennessee. In 1996, at the age of 30, Matthew was sentenced to 35 years for selling drugs and related offenses. Over the next 2 decades, he completed more than 30 Bible studies, became a law clerk, and mentored many of his fellow inmates. Now, Matthew is the very first person to be released from prison under the First Step Act.
Cool. Very good.
Matthew, please.
Uh-oh, CNN's, or C-SPAN's having problems there.
Thank you, Matthew. Now, Republicans and Democrats must join forces again, protect our homeland, and secure our very dangerous southern border. Now is the time for Congress to show the world that America is committed to ending illegal immigration, ruthless coyotes. As we speak, large organized caravans are on the march to the United States. We have just heard that Mexican cities, in order to remove the illegal immigrants from their communities, are getting trucks and buses to bring them up to our country in areas where there is little border protection. I have ordered another 3,750 troops to our southern border to prepare for this tremendous onslaught. This is a moral issue. The lawless state of our southern border is a threat to the safety, security, and financial well-being of all America. We have a moral duty to create an immigration system that protects the lives and jobs of our citizens. This includes our obligation to the millions of immigrants living here today who followed the rules and respected our laws. Legal immigrants enrich our nation and strengthen our society in countless ways. I want people to come into our country in the largest numbers ever, but they have to come in legally.
What do you think, Craig?
You know, I'm torn on that.
Tonight, I am asking you to defend our very dangerous southern border out of love
cut.
and devotion to our fellow citizens and to our country. No issue
Pelosi's not
better
laughing at that because of them
illustrates the
protesters.
divide between America's working class and America's political class than illegal immigration. Wealthy politicians and donors push for open borders while living their lives behind walls and gates and guards. Meanwhile, working class Americans are left to pay the price for mass illegal immigration. Reduced jobs, lower wages, overburdened schools, hospitals that are so crowded you can't get in, increased crime,
Behave, Tyler.
and a depleted social safety net. Tolerance for illegal immigration is not compassionate. It is actually very cruel. One in 3 women is sexually assaulted on the long journey north. Smugglers use migrant children as human pawns to exploit our laws and gain access to our country. Human traffickers and sex traffickers take advantage of the wide open areas between our ports of entry to smuggle thousands of young girls and women into the United States and to sell them into prostitution and modern-day slavery. Tens of thousands of innocent Americans are killed by lethal drugs that cross our border and flood into our cities, including meth, heroin, cocaine, and fentanyl. The savage gang, MS-13, now operates in at least 20 different American states, and they almost all come through our southern border. Just yesterday, an MS-13 gang member was taken into custody for a fatal shooting on a subway platform in New York City. We are removing these gang members by the thousands, but until we secure our border, they're going to keep streaming right back in. Year after year, countless Americans are murdered by criminal, illegal aliens. I've gotten to know many wonderful angel moms and dads and families. No one should ever have to suffer the horrible heartache that they have had to endure. Here tonight is Deborah Bissell. Just 3 weeks ago, Deborah's parents, Gerald and Sharon, were burglarized and shot to death in their Reno, Nevada home by an illegal alien. They were in their 80s and are survived by 4 children, 11 grandchildren, and 20 great-grandchildren. Also here tonight are Gerald and Sharon's granddaughter, Heather, and great-granddaughter, Madison. To Deborah, Heather, Madison, please stand. Few can understand your pain. Thank you, and thank you for being here. Thank you very much.
Yes, Casey. Nancy Pelosi would be fun to play poker with because she gives her stuff away every time.
I will never forget, and I will fight for the memory of Gerald and Sharon, that it should never happen again. Not one more American life should be lost because our nation failed to control its very dangerous border. In the last 2 years, our brave ICE officers made 266,000 arrests of criminal aliens, including those charged or convicted of nearly 100,000 assaults, 30,000 sex crimes, and 4,000 killings or murders. We are joined tonight by one of those law enforcement heroes, ICE Special Agent Elvin Hernandez. When Elvin was a boy, he and his family legally immigrated to the United States from the Dominican Republic. At the age of 8, Elvin told his dad he wanted to become a special agent. Today, he leads investigations into the scourge of international sex trafficking.
Wow.
Elvin says that if I can make sure these young girls get their justice, I've really done my job.
There you go.
Thanks to his work and that of his incredible colleagues, more than 300 women and girls have been rescued from the horror of this terrible situation. And more than 1,500 sadistic traffickers have been put behind bars.
CNN or C-SPAN.
We will always support the brave men and women of law enforcement. And I pledge to you tonight that I will never abolish our heroes from ICE. Thank you. My administration has sent to Congress a common sense proposal to end the crisis on the southern border. It includes humanitarian assistance, more law enforcement, drug detection at our ports, closing loopholes that enable child smuggling, and plans for a new physical barrier or wall to secure the vast areas between our ports of entry. In the past, most of the people in this room voted for a wall, but the proper wall never got built. I will get it built.
Detail. Get it built.
This is a smart, strategic, see-through steel barrier, not just a simple concrete wall. It will be deployed in the areas identified by the border agents as having the greatest need. And these agents will tell you where walls go up, illegal crossings go way, way down. San Diego used to have the most illegal border crossings in our country. In response, a strong security wall was put in place. This powerful barrier almost completely ended illegal crossings. The border city of El Paso, Texas, used to have extremely high rates of violent crime, one of the highest in the entire country, and considered one of our nation's most dangerous cities. Now, immediately upon its building, with a powerful
There's the
barrier
snake.
in place, El Paso is one of the safest cities in our country. Simply put, walls work and walls save lives. So let's work together, compromise, and reach a deal that will truly make America safe. As we work to defend our people's safety, we must also ensure our economic resurgence continues at a rapid pace. No one has benefited more from our thriving economy than women, who have filled 58% of the newly created jobs last year.
My page is being.
You weren't supposed to do that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All Americans can be proud that we have more women in the workforce
Smug ass.
than ever before.
I know.
Don't sit yet. You're going to like this. And exactly 1 century after Congress passed the constitutional amendment giving women the right to vote, we also have more women serving in Congress than at any time before.
Just throw one question in there. What do you want for dinner? And the whole place would just turn off this plate.
Oh, God. And see, that's funny. They're all doing this high five and stuff. They don't get it. They're actually promoting what he's saying.
Yeah, well.
Oh, my God. The Democrats started it. We have someone in the room who's actually deploying to El Paso. Good luck, buddy. We love you.
That's great.
Good luck, Ruben.
Really great. And congratulations. That's great. As part of our commitment to improving opportunity for women everywhere, this Thursday, we are launching the first ever government-wide initiative focused on economic empowerment for women in developing countries. To build on, our incredible economic success, one priority is paramount: reversing decades of calamitous trade policies. So bad. We are now making it clear to China that after years of targeting our industries and stealing our intellectual property, the theft of American jobs and wealth has come to an end.
How you feel about that, Pookie?
Yeah, I'd have to get in on it on a different time.
Therefore, we recently imposed tariffs on $250 billion of Chinese goods, and now our Treasury is receiving billions and billions of dollars. But I don't blame China for taking advantage of us. I blame our leaders and representatives for allowing this travesty to happen.
Amen.
I have great respect for President Xi, and we are now working on a new trade deal with China. But it must include real structural change to end unfair trade practices,
There you go.
reduce our chronic trade deficit, and protect American jobs.
There you go.
Thank you, Bill Clinton.
Yeah, you're kidding, right?
Another historic trade blunder was the catastrophe known as NAFTA.
There we go.
I have met the men and women of Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, New Hampshire, and many other states whose dreams were shattered by the signing of NAFTA. For years, politicians promised them they would renegotiate for a better deal, but no one ever tried until now. Our new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA, will replace NAFTA and deliver for American workers like they haven't had delivered to for a long time. I hope you can pass the USMCA into law so that we can bring back our manufacturing jobs in even greater numbers, expand American agriculture, protect intellectual property, and ensure that more cars are proudly stamped with our 4 beautiful words, made in the USA.
Charles, I don't know if he's going to talk about Facebook tonight.
Tonight, I am also asking you to pass the United States Reciprocal Trade Act so that if another country places an unfair tariff on an American product, we can charge them the exact
Detroit,
same tariff on the exact same
Chicago,
product
New York,
that they
LA.
sell to us.
The list keeps going.
Yep.
Both parties should be able to unite for a great rebuilding of America's crumbling infrastructure. I know that Congress is eager to pass an infrastructure bill, and I am eager to work with you on legislation to deliver new and important infrastructure investment, including investments in the cutting-edge industries of the future. This is not an option. This is a necessity.
So, like, what's his name? Ron
The
Paul
next
sitting there.
major priority for me and for all of us should be to lower the
What'd you
cost
say,
of
folks?
health care and prescription
One
drugs
second.
and to protect patients with pre-existing conditions.
That's good old Mitt.
Already as a result of my administration's efforts in 2018, drug prices experienced their single largest decline in 46 years. but we must do more. It's unacceptable
Open up
that
the market for
Americans
the
pay
pharmaceutical
vastly more than
companies. That'll
people
fix it.
in other
Yeah,
countries
no kidding.
for the exact same drugs, often made in the exact same place. This is wrong. This is unfair. And together, we will stop it. And we'll stop it fast. I am asking Congress to pass legislation that finally takes on the problem of global freeloading and delivers fairness
Oh, you're
and
talking
price
capitalism and socialism up in there. Ain't
transparency
gonna like that.
for
Mm-hmm.
American patients, finally. We should also require drug companies, insurance companies, and hospitals to disclose real prices to foster competition and bring costs way down. No force in history has done more to advance the human condition than American freedom. In recent years, we have made remarkable progress in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Scientific breakthroughs have brought a once distant dream within reach. My budget will ask Democrats and Republicans to make the needed commitment to eliminate the HIV epidemic in the United States within 10 years. We have made incredible strides, incredible. Together, we will defeat AIDS in America and beyond. Tonight, I am also asking you to join me in another fight that all Americans can get behind, the fight against childhood cancer.
There you go.
Joining Melania in the gallery this evening is a very brave 10-year-old girl, Grace Eline. Every birthday,
She's a little cutie.
hi, Grace. Every birthday since she was 4, Grace asked her friends to donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. She did not know that one day she might be a patient herself. That's what happened. Last year, Grace was diagnosed with brain cancer. Immediately, she began radiation treatment. At the same time, she rallied her community and raised more than $40,000 for the fight against cancer.
You can see such a pretty little knocking down behind.
When Grace completed treatment last fall, Her doctors and nurses cheered. They loved her. They still love her. With tears in their eyes, as she hung up a poster that read, "Last day of chemo." Thank you very much, Grace. You are a great inspiration to everyone in this room. Thank you very much. Many childhood cancers have not seen new therapies in decades. My budget will ask Congress for $500 million over the next 10 years to fund this critical life-saving research. To help support working parents, the time has come to pass school choice for Americans' children. I am also proud to be the first president to include in my budget a plan for nationwide paid family leave so that every new parent has the chance to bond with their newborn child. There could be no greater contrast to the beautiful image of a mother holding her infant child than the chilling displays our nation saw in recent days. Lawmakers in New York cheered with delight upon the passage of legislation that would allow a baby to be ripped from the mother's womb moments from birth. These are living, feeling, beautiful babies who will never get the chance to share their love and their dreams with the world. And then we had the case of the governor of Virginia, where he stated he would execute
you
a
done pissed
baby
a
after
bunch of
birth
people off.
Oh, yeah.
to defend the dignity of every person. I am asking Congress to pass legislation to prohibit the late-term abortion of children who can feel pain in the mother's womb.
He just pissed off a whole beehive.
Let us work together to build a culture that cherishes innocent life.
For all you who want to know, I'll go on until the State of the Union is.
And let us reaffirm a fundamental truth. All children, born and unborn, are made in the holy image of God. The final part of my agenda is to protect American security. Over the last 2 years, we have begun to fully rebuild the United States military with $700 billion last year and $716 billion this year. We are also getting other nations to pay their fair share. Finally. For years, the United States was being treated very unfairly by friends of ours, members of NATO. But now we have secured over the last couple of years, more than $100 billion of increase in
Space Force.
defense spending from our NATO allies. They said it couldn't be done. As part of our military buildup, the United States is developing a state-of-the-art missile defense system. Under my administration, we will never
Collusion.
apologize for advancing America's interests. For example, decades ago, the United States entered into a treaty with Russia in which we agreed to limit and reduce our missile capability. While we followed the agreement and the rules to the letter, Russia repeatedly violated its terms. It's been going on for many years. That is why I announced that the United States is officially withdrawing from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, or INF Treaty. Perhaps
Yeah, Charles. I know.
we really have no choice. Perhaps we can negotiate a different agreement, adding China and others, or perhaps we can't, in which case we will outspend and out-innovate all others by far.
They're talking that they have missiles now that are supersonic. Russia does and China
As part
does.
of a bold new diplomacy, we continue our historic push for peace on the Korean Peninsula. Our hostages have come home. Nuclear testing has stopped, and there has not been a missile launch in more than 15 months. If I had not been elected President of the United States,
There we go.
we would right now, in my opinion, be in a major
February
war
27th,
with
28th,
North
Vietnam. You
Korea.
heard that.
Much work remains to be done, but my relationship with Kim Jong-un is a good one. Chairman Kim and I will meet again on February 27th
That I did not hear
and
about.
28th in Vietnam.
Oh, that he's going to re-meet with him?
The Venezuelan government.
Oh, yeah. Venezuela? Yeah. They're truly.
2 weeks ago, the United States officially recognized the legitimate government of Venezuela and its new president, Juan Guaido.
You notice Nancy ain't standing on that one. They're mad that we're recognizing him.
We stand with the Venezuelan people in their noble quest for freedom, and we condemn the brutality of the Maduro regime,
Oh no, he's not
whose
going there.
socialist policies
Yep,
have
he
turned
is.
that nation from being the wealthiest in South America into a state of abject poverty and despair.
And he's doing it for a reason. He's trying to help people realize what socialism does.
Here in the United States, we are alarmed by the new calls
Bernie looked like he's
to
about to
adopt
explode.
socialism
Yeah,
in
well,
our
here.
country.
You hear this?
America was founded on liberty and independence and not government coercion, domination, and control. We are born free and we will stay free.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I think, hold on, my blood pressure med just kicked in. I'm getting lightheaded or something.
You okay, bud?
No, I'm just saying. He just said this shit. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Look at Bernie. Oh, he's pissed.
Tonight, we renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country.
Oh, Lord. That just opened up a can of worms. It's all or nothing at this point. Socialists are going to have to double down or back off.
One of the most complex set of challenges we face and have for many years is in the Middle East. Our approach is based on principle realism, not discredited theories that have failed for decades to yield progress. For this reason, my administration
This is what I've been waiting
recognized
for.
the true capital of Israel and proudly opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Our brave troops have now been fighting in the Middle East for almost 19 years. In Afghanistan and Iraq, nearly 7,000 American heroes have given their lives. More than 52,000 Americans have been badly wounded. We have spent more than $7 trillion in fighting wars in the Middle East. As a candidate for president, I loudly pledged a new approach. Great nations do not fight endless wars. When I took office, ISIS controlled more than 20,000 square miles in Iraq and Syria just 2 years ago. Today, we have liberated virtually all of the territory from the grip of these bloodthirsty monsters.
And they could easily come back.
Now, as we work with our allies to destroy the remnants of ISIS, it is time to give our brave warriors in Syria a warm welcome
2 decades
home.
worth.
Yeah, no kidding.
I have also accelerated our negotiations to reach, if possible, a political settlement in Afghanistan. The opposing side is also very happy to be negotiating. Our troops have fought with unmatched valor, and thanks to their bravery, we are now able to pursue a possible political solution to this long and bloody conflict.
AS, the generals are sitting because they can't show political views. Remember,
They're not allowed to stand. They have to stand. It's probably like stone golems.
yeah, got to remember, we're supposed to be non-political. Okay?
In Afghanistan,
Same with
my
the
administration
Supreme Court.
is holding constructive talks with a number of Afghan groups, including the Taliban. As we make progress in these negotiations, we will be able to reduce our troops' presence and focus on counterterrorism, and we will indeed focus on counterterrorism. We do not know whether we'll achieve an agreement, but we do know that after 2 decades of war, the hour has come to at least try for peace. And
I'll
the
go with
other
that. At least
side
try.
would like to do the same thing. It's time.
I can agree with that. It doesn't hurt to try as long as it's realistic. Right, folks?
Exactly.
Above all, friend and foe alike must never doubt this nation's power and will to defend our people. 18 years ago, violent terrorists attacked the USS Cole, and last month, American forces killed one of the leaders of that attack. We are honored to be joined tonight by Tom Wibberley, whose son, Navy seaman Craig Wibberley, was one of the 17 sailors we tragically lost. Tom, we vow to always remember the heroes of the USS Cole. Thank you, Tom. My administration has acted decisively to confront the world's leading state sponsor of terror, the radical regime in Iran. It is a radical regime. They do bad, bad things. To ensure this corrupt dictatorship never acquires nuclear weapons, I withdrew the United States from the disastrous Iran nuclear deal.
They're
Last fall, we put in place the toughest sanctions ever imposed by us on a country. We will not avert our eyes from a regime that chants death to America and threatens genocide against the Jewish people. We must never ignore the vile poison of anti-Semitism or those who spread its venomous creed. With one voice, we must confront this hatred anywhere and everywhere it occurs. Just months ago, 11 Jewish Americans were viciously murdered in an anti-Semitic attack on the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. SWAT officer Timothy Matson
True hero.
raced into the gunfire and was shot 7 times chasing down the killer. And he was very successful. Timothy has just had his 12th surgery, and he's going in for many more. But he made the trip to be here with us tonight. Officer Matson, please.
Hoorah. Amen. Good job. And Ginsburg is not there, but she has shown up this week to a celebration of life for her. So Ginsburg is alive, for those of you that were wondering.
Thank you. We are forever grateful. Thank you very much. Tonight, we are also joined by Pittsburgh survivor, Judah Samet. He arrived at the synagogue as the massacre began. But not only did Judah narrowly escape death last fall, more than 7 decades ago, he narrowly survived the Nazi concentration camps. Today is Judah's 81st birthday.
Wow. Way to live. Way to live. good to see you in the room, Justin. Good to see everybody still here. Ah, they're singing happy birthday to him. That would be cool to have Congress and the Senate sing happy birthday to you. How cool would that be?
They wouldn't do that for me, Judah. Judah says he can still remember the exact moment nearly 75 years ago, after 10 months in a concentration camp, when he and his family were put on a train and told they were going to another camp. Suddenly, the train screeched to a very strong halt. A soldier appeared. Judah's family braced for the absolute worst. Then his father cried out with joy, "It's the Americans! It's the Americans!"
What do you think about this, Pope?
It's touching.
Beautiful. He's doing some great chess moves in this speech.
Thank you. A second Holocaust survivor who was here tonight, Joshua Kaufman, was a prisoner at Dachau.
Oh, wow.
He remembers watching through a hole in the wall of a cattle car as American soldiers rolled in with tanks. To me, Joshua recalls, the American soldiers were proof that God exists, and they came down from the sky. They came down from heaven. I began this evening by honoring 3 soldiers who fought on D-Day in the Second World War. One of them was Herman Zaitchik. But there is more to Herman's story. A year after he stormed the beaches of Normandy, Herman was one of the American soldiers who helped liberate Dachau.
Oh, wow. Going good, Justin. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it's great to see positive stories in the State of the Union. He's keeping it very positive, don't you think, folks?
Yeah.
This is my type of thing. Positive.
He was one of the Americans who helped rescue Joshua from that hell on earth. Almost 75 years later, Herman and Joshua are both together in the gallery
And the general
tonight,
stand
seated side by side,
Yeah.
here in the home
for a fellow
of
soldier.
American freedom. Herman and Joshua, your presence this evening is very much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Yep, the general stood. Good for them. Yeah, he's hitting some true nerves. He's making sure they're positive. You can't sit there and say this was a negative speech. This is actually a very positive speech. Actually, a very endearing speech.
Thank you. When American soldiers set out beneath the dark skies over the English Channel in the early hours of D-Day, 1944, they were just young men of 18 and 19, hurtling on fragile landing craft toward the most momentous battle in the history of war. They did not know if they would survive the hour. They did not know if they would grow old. But they knew that America had to prevail. Their cause was this nation and generations yet unborn. Why did they do it? They did it for America. They did it for us.
For America.
Everything that has come since our triumph over communism, our giant leaps of science and discovery, our unrivaled progress towards equality and justice, all of it is possible thanks to the blood and tears and courage and vision of the Americans who came before.
He's talking about you, brothers and sisters.
Think of this Capitol. Think of this very chamber where lawmakers before you voted to end slavery, to build the railroads and the highways, and defeat fascism, to secure civil rights, and to face down evil empires. Here tonight, we have legislators from across this magnificent republic. You have come from the rocky shores of Maine and the volcanic peaks of Hawaii, from the snowy woods of Wisconsin and the red deserts of Arizona, from the green farms of Kentucky and the golden beaches of California. Together, we represent the most extraordinary nation in all of history. What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? I ask the men and women of this Congress, look at the opportunities before us. Our most thrilling achievements are still ahead. Our most exciting journeys still await. Our biggest victories are still to come.
Wake up, Bernie.
We have
He's
not
asleep.
yet
Halfway
begun
asleep.
to dream. We must choose whether we are defined by our differences or whether we dare to transcend them. We must choose whether we squander our great inheritance or whether we proudly declare that we are Americans. We do the incredible. We defy the impossible. We conquer the unknown. This is the time to reignite the American imagination. This is the time to search for the tallest summit and set our sights on the brightest star. This is the time to rekindle the bonds of love and loyalty and memory that link us together as citizens, as neighbors, as patriots. This is our future, our fate, and our choice to make. I am asking you to choose greatness. No matter the trials we face, no matter the challenges to come, we must go forward together. We must keep America first in our hearts. We must keep freedom alive in our souls. And we must always keep faith in America's destiny. That one nation, under God, must be the hope and the promise and the light and the glory among all the nations of the world. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was a good speech. What do you think, Cookie?
At the end there, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, you did. I was very impressed. He actually put it together very nicely. is very coherent and cohesive. Can't complain one bit. About an hour and a half speech. That's not too bad. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut that down. And there we go. All right, everybody. That was the State of the Union. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was a very well put together. I'm always, you had a chance to listen to it. You had a chance to really give it a shot without a whole lot of dialogue. I tried not to be too intrusive on your time. And I think that, we've got a lot of things to look forward to. How about you, Pook?
There's definitely going to be a lot of media talking points coming up here in the next 24 hours, because he did cut some faces and with some of the things he said.
Didn't he? Especially when he actually brought up and he directly hit the nail on the head about socialism. Ooh. Man.
All the millennial liberal arts. I just heard the "re" in the background, like "re" end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the sinisterness of some of those politicians sitting up there with that smug look on their face, the whole speech.
Didn't you just want to sit there and say?
All I heard at the end was, "We're America. Let's put Americans first. Let's become what we used to be,
and that,
not what we were. Let's be what we used to be. Let's push forward, become America again.
Let's be our better.
I like it.
Let's be better." And that's, you can't say much else than that. And that's great. I'm not going to keep you on too much longer because everybody, normally I do a 2-hour show, and this was a little bit longer than a 2-hour show, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and go through with house cleaning. 7th of February, on Thursday, we have Joseph Terry, Sergeant Major, U.S. Army, retired from Non-Commissioned Officers Association. Sergeant Major, retired, Joseph Terry is the Executive Director of the Non-Commissioned Officers Association, NCOA, and he will be coming on Sergeant's Time to talk about what organization does. The NCOA is currently a strong voice in Capitol Hill, and with the Veterans Administration and their members around the world are making a difference in their local communities. As the Executive Director of NCOA, Joseph is responsible for overseeing its daily operations and leading a dedicated headquarters staff that serves over 50,000 members worldwide. The NCOA is a 501c organization that was established in 1960 to enhance and maintain the quality of life for non-commissioned officers and petty officers in all branches of the United States forces, active duty, National Guard, Reserve, veterans, widows, and their families. As far as our show lineup, we have a show all but 2 days of the week. Today's Tied Up Tuesdays normally is with Minx. She will be back on the 19th. Yes, I misprinted on our tag. And so again, I will be on next week. Wednesday is our day off, our meditation day. Thursday is Sergeant's Time with Ice and Spanky. Friday is open day for now. Saturday is Tinfoil Times with Jay Reddy and Pookie and Mulder. Sunday is Kicking It with Cause. That's Cause and me, Al. And then Monday is the Monday edition with Ice and Flash. From there, good evening, Dale. Good to see you. Broadcasting partners. We have the Veterans Report, which started in January 2016. The Veterans Report website was launched. Its mission and layout was simple. Provide an unbiased, fact-based source for veterans, related news and information. A good place for gathering information, a good place to find information. It's an actual terrestrial radio show that is headquartered out of Pittsburgh. Right now is on a break, but will be coming back soon. And then we have War Horses for Veterans is another one of our partners. War Horses for Veterans is a 3-day equine and networking experience. Veterans will have the opportunity to bond with horses as well as each other in a safe and comfortable country environment. War Horses for Veterans provides veterans a peaceful break from everyday life challenges. Give them a chance to have quality time to clear their heads, share stories in a judgment-free space, and enjoy some of the best food in the Midwest. War Horses for Veterans commitment to combat veterans goes beyond a weekend experience. They introduce you to a network of people able and willing to support you long after the uniform comes off, all in the spirit of community. This experience costs $0 for the veteran. Everything from airfare to lodging, all meals and transportation are also taken care of. So visit www.warhorsesforveterans.com to learn more. Okay, well, that's our show tonight. I'm glad everybody is here tonight. I'm happy to see faces, and thank you for being here during the State of the Union. You got anything special you want to say tonight, Pooks?
Yeah, Happy New Year's. I mean, Chinese New Year's.
I didn't even think about that. Thank you very much, Pookie. And I will simply say, remember, you have a choice in life. Always have a choice. Don't ever forget that you don't. You have a choice to smile, a choice to be positive, or a choice to let others choose your way. Make your choice for you. I'm John Owl, and shots.
Yeah. Every morning seems just the same old routine. Blowing trees, writing these bars, line after line, mining for a diamond, but a diamond's what I find. Hiding from the truth by simply coasting through these hard times with green, even though I'm feeling blue. But I gotta face the facts, girl, you know that it's true. And maybe what I'm supposed to do is not to get so close to you. But these days the only things that seem great are fading away. And the only time I feel home is when I'm alone or far away. But the road calls as the wind blows. 10 missed calls on my flip phone, so it stays closed. Staring out my window while my mind slowly goes off into my headphones. Hoping that the dough will be worth it for the show, but who knows?
Yeah, let's go and roll it up. Blow it all away. No sense in growing up. We laugh like kids all day. And there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change. No, we're never gonna change.
Man, day after day is just the same old thing. Working class life, and yes, it surely will bring a food to the table and a roof when it rains. But for the most part, you're just doing the same thing. A part of a machine with a ball and a chain. You try to be happy, yet all you feel is pain. It's a shame to use your brain and know that some will never change. But if insanity's the game, then you can take my hand and play. Life has a rhythm that I ride to. And you can come along if you would like to. And I can show you what it's like to walk in my shoes, to learn how to love just like I do. Look me in the eye and you will find truth. I'm testifying to the lying in my mic booth. And you're hating on me cause I ain't like you. I ain't like you.
Yeah, let's go and roll it up. Blow it all away. No sense in growing up. We laugh like kids all day. And there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change. No, we're never gonna change. Yo, My life is like a movie that nobody's producing. I write the music, but nobody is moving. Cause don't nobody care, and everyone's confused. So the characters change and never reaching a conclusion. And I don't know if I'll make it to the end. Cause all I know is after we begin, the wind shifts us in many different directions. Like the pen lifts up off the paper disconnected from anything we can feel, hear, and see. And the words that I write mean something more than just to me. It's amazing that we've all grown accustomed to change. Cause we can rearrange a pattern that's always been ingrained. They want us to grow up and stop acting how we want. But if you tell me I can't do something, I'll make sure it gets done. Yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in growing up, we laugh like kids all day. And there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change. No, we're never gonna change.